Howdy, folks. Welcome to Overwatch Recast, a show where I, Nick Vincent, an amateur shoutcaster, shoutcast old Overwatch League games and bring some entertainment to you. Today's episode, we're going to be focusing specifically on Overwatch League for people that don't watch it. If you don't watch the Overwatch League, here's a video of me telling you why. Today, we're going to go in and watch the LA Valiant versus the Seoul Dynasty. But for now, let's talk about Overwatch League. Not enough people are watching it. My family loves it. I love it. I went to some live games. It's a great game, but it can be hard to get into. So this episode is going to be for you that have seen it around, know people talk about it, but have not watched any games. Let's get in the game. First things to know, teams of 6. 2 teams of 6 are going to be competing here. This is a map type called a control. There is 1 point. It's King of the Hill. Whichever team can hold and control that point the longest wins. They're trying to get to 100%. We see the percents at the top of the board. You may have played Overwatch before, but you might not know the structure of the spectating unit. We have up here on the top of the boards all the characters that they pick. If you've not played Overwatch before, there are 32 characters that each team can pick 6 of. You can only have 1 of each character in your team. Each character has different weapons, abilities, and ultimates. That's what those percentiles are taking up. We'll explain more about that later. We're going to see the LA Valiant here, the team in white. See on the left with KSP, KSF, Dreamer, McGrave, and Lastro pushing it on the point. Now we can see this death meter top right tells us the Lastro kills Fitz. So this is what we call in the community a pick. Not because we don't like saying killing, like fragging back in the old days. Picks means you pick someone off early before a fight, meaning your team has the advantage. Of course, you have the advantage, you can move in, you can get more points. And we're going to see LA Valiant kill 2 people here. Again, we see KSF taking out Gesture and taking the point. We're seeing over weapons. KSP is currently playing a character named McCree. He's a cowboy. He's got a revolver, 6-shooter. He can reload real fast. He's got a flashbang that he can throw out. Very usual character. We're going to see KSF here. Playing this character named Doomfist. He's got a big rocket launcher fist. That's all you need to know about him, really. He moves around a lot. High mobility, high burst damage. Again, it's a really fun character to watch, really fun character to play, but it can be confusing. Now we see one of our first notable ultimates coming out here, but KSP has charged up his Deadeye. Every character has a different ultimate, and KSP has charged his. Again, we can see the percentage at the top. Prophet is playing a character named Tracer, very fast, high mobility character. We just saw Prophet pop off, as we like to call it, with his ultimate, picking up a kill. And now Valiant, as we see, this counting clock at the top has the point. They are capturing the point. And this is the goal of Overwatch. Kill the enemy team so that you can take the point. You can't take the point while they're on it and alive. You see it. Here we have Doomfist taking out KSP. Jester taking out Lasher. This fight, it's moving forward and back. Not either team has really made a massive advantage for themselves. Dynasty's having to pull back onto the point. KSP coming through Doomfist, managing to grab those big kills that Doomfist needs to grab to be successful. Now we're seeing Prophet being nano boosted. This is Ana's ult. We see Vidosin over here. I'll switch over that. Vidosin's playing Ana. She's a sniper that can heal with her bullets as well as damage. And her ultimate ability is she increases someone's damage and resistance to damage for a few seconds. It's very effective. It can really push fight, especially if you put it on someone like Tracer or McCree or Doomfist that can naturally do a lot of damage. We're going to see Dynasty here winning that fight pretty handily, and Valiant about the point. They're at 85%. With 85, as this percentile ticks up, we're going to see Valiant trying to get people on the point. They know they only have 9 seconds left to get someone on the point, but if they can get someone on the point at that end when it gets to 99%, they can clock into overtime. What overtime means is that the game will keep going as people keep stepping on the point. As we see it refill, but it's going to keep ticking down. The longer you're in overtime, the faster that clock ticks down. So they're going to try to keep this fight going as long as they can, try to keep this match winnable for them, try to take the point. Up the top, around at A, you can see how many people from each side are on the point. ASP comes through, gets a lot of kills as McCree, but I don't know if it's enough to capture the point. Put a lot of pressure. We're going to see what the odd teammate is actually Brigitte's ult. It's a rally. She puts armor on all of her teammates, and that's going to be what got Valiant through. All those characters armored up means they were taking a lot less damage than this whole dynasty was. They were able to protect themselves. Those bars under all the characters' pictures are their health. If you've not seen it before, it's with the armor. The orange denotes armor. Armor takes less damage than regular health does. So for instance, one shot, if you shoot somebody with armor with a 50 damage shot, it actually only does 45 damage. Which is why armor is really good at deflecting a lot of small shots. So if Tracer only does 3 damage, or does 7 damage a bullet, she shoots like 30 bullets a second. She's actually only doing 2 damage a bullet, but she's still shooting 30 bullets a second. Whatever. I don't know what Tracer's fire rate is. Now you can see this character here that looks like a big ball. We call him Ball in the community, or Hammond, but his name is Wrecking Ball. He is a hamster driving a robotic ball. Here, we're seeing the fight take off. And Soul Dynasty pretty quickly is able to take back. That's what their team comp is kind of doing. They've got the Doomfist, they've got the Diva. They're really sufficient at diving onto the point, taking people out fast. Doomfist has an ability where if he punches you into a wall, you take 200 damage. 200 damage is enough to kill most characters in the game. As you see in the top left of the screen, KSP, KSF, and Lastro are all playing 200 health characters. So is on the right side of the screen, Fitz, Toby, and Bedosin. KSF only has 150 health with Tracer. So switching to Symmetra. The different variabilities of characters are what we're going to see be the real lead for this map. We're going to see a technique called the teleport and switch. So when someone picks Symmetra, lets their entire team teleport forward to get onto the point faster, and then KSF is going to switch to Tracer. It's also fair to be known that unlike League of Legends or Dota, you can switch characters at any point that you're in your spawn. You don't have to wait, you can switch, change up your strategy, change the way you're approaching the game, so that you're not stuck. The problem that a lot of people have with MOBAs is you pick a character and you realize your team comp is nowhere near as good as the other team comp, and you've lost. It's not necessarily the case. We're going to see Soul Dynasty has taken the first point, pushing the point, but we're going to see Valiant here rushing what we call the back line of the Soul Dynasty, pushing relentlessly at the healers and the people that aren't really strong enough to fight and keep themselves alive. Again, we're watching Rain. Rain here is playing Brigitte. She's a healer that heals by doing damage. Every time she hits somebody with that mace of hers, she ups an ability called Inspiration, which heals a good amount per second to everyone around her. Not just all of her teammates around her. And she also throws out these armor packs that can give someone temporary health above their normal max. She's a very good DPS healer because she can make people like Tracer have 200 health, even though Tracer's only normally supposed to have 50 health. We're going to see Dynasty's coming in here. They're playing this character named Sigma. He can throw out a shield. Watch some Sigma flanking. He can project the shield forward pressure. Him and Prophet dive on KSF. Are they going to survive it? Prophet takes out Rain as well. We're going to see what I call Fractal Flux. It's actually Sigma's ultimate of Graviton Flux, where he throws a circle on the ground to pick you up. And we're going to see the Dynasty taking this point. These are one of the fun things about Overwatch is learning all these characters, seeing all the cool stuff they can do, and that was a very scary moment for Prophet and Marva. They seemed in danger. There was an entire team bullying them down, but they were able to make kills slowly, keeping themselves alive while picking people off, and then they won the fight as a team came together. The freeze don't move. That's going to be Prophet's ultimate. Blizzard, it freezes everyone within a certain radius. We're going to take out the Bravey here. But he's stunned in the end by Rain's Brigitte. we're gonna see the robotic monk who is gonna cast the Ibis Transcendence, a big defensive ult because it heals 300 health a second. So anything that doesn't do burst damage really can't kill. Anything that can't kill somebody in one hit cannot kill them while that is up. It's gonna be a quick take for the LA Valiant. They were able to move quickly, they were able to be succinct, they were able to get damage on and come back from what seemed to be a loss. Here what we're going to see from KSF is what we call a flank. They're watching this back angle. They don't see these smaller outlines, they only see those ones that are filled in with yellow. These yellow outlines that he doesn't see. This is for us. But he's just trying to figure out where the enemy team are. He knows that Vidosin, the Zenyatta on the enemy team, saw him, so he's going to kind of retreat. Try to not get picked off. But we're going to see what we call being Hanzo. This Fitz, this guy with a bow and arrow, takes out KSF with one shot. It's not just because Tracer has low health, which Tracer does. If Hanzo hits you in the head with a headshot, it does enough damage to one-shot most characters in the game. Again, it's that nice 200 number. I think Hanzo's arrow might actually be 250 with the headshot. But that's what we're gonna see. And Seoul Dynasty, they're very quickly with their Hanzo doing a lot of damage, is able to take Valiant off the point. So that's what's important to watch. So here's what we're going to call what is called a cart escort map. There is a cart. It is right here. Our team needs to stand on it while they are standing on it, and the enemy team is not standing on it, or while the Valiant stands on it and the Seoul Dynasty is not standing on it, it moves forward. If both teams are standing on it, it does not move. If the Dynasty is the only team standing, or if both teams are standing on it, or the Valiant aren't standing on it, it does not move. My lips bleeding. Weird. So here we're going to see the LA Valiant come out of their spawn room, and the Dynasty have already prepared. The people on defense get 30 seconds. Actually, I think it might be 45. To start preparing for the map at hand. And with this, they're able to build up a defense as we've seen them do. Prophet's going to take out KSP. This isn't a massive loss, because once again, Valiant's right next to their spawn room. So he's just going to be out for 10 seconds and basically make it back to the fight as soon as he respawns. Both teams are winning this character here where we see named Widowmaker. Widowmaker is a sniper. She can do 300 damage with a fully charged headshot. And we see as she scopes in, you're going to see these arrows that build up. And the more they build up, the more damage her shots do. And she's going to be looking for headshots, or as we say, clicking heads, like that. Fitz is going to just take out KSF. With that much, doesn't matter how much health you have, that can take out anyone but tanks. Tanks are characters, as we see that are going to be the middle two spots in either team lineup. Each team can have 2 tanks, 2 healers, and 2 damage. And these tank characters have a lot more health. They really can't be one-shot by anything in the game. Besides, perhaps a couple ultimates can. I think I'm only thinking of one ultimate. There are probably other ultimates that can one-shot. These characters with just a lot of health. And we're seeing Dynasty just have a superior. LA Valiant's actually a good team, but we're seeing is Dynasty is putting kills on, and Valiant's just being spawn camped. They can't get out. They're trying to find a way out, and they need to. As we see in the clock, they've only got 1 minute and 56 seconds to move that P symbol to that first golden tick to get some extra time. Each tick they get the cart to gives them a point, and any distance they gain during that only really counts for ties. You can see Fitz here putting a lot of damage on KSF, taking out people, and this is what, if you've never watched competitive Overwatch but you play Overwatch, you're going to notice that people play Widowmakers online are kind of useless. But when when your people are professionals and they have a 60% hit rate or a 30% headshot rate or something insane, like their aim is just good, Widowmaker is a very oppressive character. She can put a lot of damage, and she's very fun to watch a good Widowmaker play. Fitz is an example of this, a very fun Widowmaker. And as we watch him play, you're going to notice that he can put a lot of damage. Now, they are pulling back. They saw that the LA Valiant's coming on this underground area, and they know that if they had just stood where they weren't going to have the advantage coming to this next fight. But they decided to pull back, and Fitz is going to take this high ground, try to get some shots. The LA Valiant here are going to want to look to stop Fitz from just killing everyone. Again, that is the problem with the professional Widowmaker. She can do that much damage because they're probably not missing as much as you'd hope. We're going to see the what we call Nano Blade coming out of KSF, which is where Ana Nano Boost Genji. Remember, it increases damage, decreases damage taken. But KSF playing Genji has this sword that he pulls out that does massive damage, and increase that with increased damage and all sorts, and making it hard to kill him is a deadly combo. It doesn't pick up too many people from the Soul Dynasty, but it's still a pretty effective combo. Fitz is taken out here as the Valiant managed to push on to point, and that's going to be most people the Soul Dynasty dead. They know that their team's dead, so the people that are still alive here are going to try to get away, try to not give ultimate charge to the enemy team. But what we mean by that is every point of damage you take gives the person that deals it to you extra charge in their ultimate. Or if you're a healer, the counter to that is a healer healing people gets them extra charge in their ultimate. Healers have very powerful ultimates. Sometimes it's okay to take a little bit of damage so that your healer can get some charge. We're going to see the fight up here on this high ground here. This map is multi-level. There's a lot of places you can fight, and this high ground is one of them. We're going to see these wrecking balls dive through the enemy team, drop this minefield that means that until this is cleared out, you really can't walk through. Normal people will just die if they contact 2 or more mines. See KSF taking out Fitz. Fitz has switched to this cowboy we love named McCree. KSP though is finally taking him out. This second point is not great for a Widowmaker, which is where we're going to see that switch. There's not a lot of long sight lines besides the very predictable one over to the right. And so Fitz knows that he needs to switch it up to a character that has more close range effectiveness. And we see the Valiant push through this point again. This is the kind of thing we like to see. Is most times on escort maps, the status quo is that it is very easy. It's very attack based. And we're going to see this Nano Blade and see what I mean by extremely effective. KSP can do an insane amount of damage. Unfortunately, he's forced to retreat as the enemy team kind of has their full structure and pulls out, as well as there's people on the point that he's trying to kill. Doesn't really get too much out of the Nano Blade, but when KSF goes wild, he can do a lot with it. Prophet picks up Lastro, and when a team is down in support, they're down a lot. Here we're gonna see Prophet. This Tracer has a lot of damage potential. Takes up McGravy. When your supports are down, you kind of have to pull out. You don't have the healing required to just keep taking damage, because the idea is both teams are just going to fire into the enemy team. And if you don't have healing, you can't afford to fire into the enemy team, because if you do, you'll just get hit and die. We're going to see that self-destruct coming out of McGravy. McGravy's D.Va's ultimate ability is that she can make her body explode like that. And it does, I believe, 600 damage when it goes off. The only person that really can survive it is a tank with the shield out, or something that would block them. Or, I guess, Mei when she's in her ice block. Or, funny enough, if Roadhog's at full health and he drinks from his gas potion, it'll heal him up. and he has damage resistance while it's up, so it doesn't kill him. Common strategy when you see a self-destruct coming out is running behind cover. If you run behind cover, it won't hit you. So we're going to see, as you see, the Dynasty are in their spawn for this first 45 seconds, meaning they just get to keep switching. They can look out these windows, try to see what the Valiant has, maybe pick teams to counter. Valiant here have pretty much secured their starting comp. This is the disadvantage you have with defense. Because you were so far from your spawn to start, A, if you die on defense, it takes you longer to run back to most fights. B, you can't, once you're out, you're out. You cannot counter pick on defense. We're going to see Seoul Dynasty pretty much immediately pick KSF. Down one person is not going to look good for defense on this fight. We know the Valiant, again, has a long way back. KSF's playing Tracer, one of the fastest characters in the game, so she'll probably get back pretty quick. But still, like, it's not, that is a bad look for the first fight. Valiant knows this is why they're pulling back here. They can't really win this fight 5-6. Especially because most teams are running very similar things. You can see the Hanzo, the bow guy from the Seoul Dynasty, putting a lot of damage against barriers, as we call them. You see those glowing fields of light. They only have a certain amount of health before they break, and certain characters like Hanzo and McCree and 76 are very good at breaking barriers. KSP here, playing Widowmaker, is actually kind of bad at breaking barriers. That burst damage is good, but you still have to charge up the shots to get it, which means you want high sustained damage to take out barriers. Especially because KSP wants to do is sneak around and get headshots before people notice her. And taking time to shoot at a barrier is just a waste of people's attention of you. If people know you're there, they're going to try to just stand behind the barrier. Widowmaker wants to get headshots. Barriers don't have heads to shoot. We're going to see Marve take out Lastro here again. Now that Valiant's down a support, they're going to know that this fight's going to be harder and Dynasty's going to push in. It might seem like every fight that comes up a lot of the time is, oh, one person's down and then everyone else gets rolled because it's a 5-6 instead of a 6-6. That team cooperation is so natural that is the way. But there's a lot of scenarios where that's not the case. For instance, if I take out KSF first, or rather, I take out Fitz first on the side of the Dynasty, or I take out Marve on the side of the Dynasty, they still have Prophet and Gesture. There are a lot of characters in the game, like this Mei from Prophet, this beautiful ice girl, that can just change fights. Look at that. Fitz pops off what we call Dragon Strike. It's his ultimate. 2 giant dragons do massive area of effect damage. Enemy team. Watch Toby here playing Batiste. He has a field, immortality field. He throws at a lamp. You can't die when you're in the range of it. Puts out a lot of healing, keeping his team alive through a lot here. They're taking a lot of damage, but the teamwork that comes in these professional games, these high skill, means that he's just keeping his team going, keeping together. He knows what they're trying to do because they're communicating it. And they're able to wrap up even when it seemed all was lost. They had a lot of ults drop on them. McGravy dropped a Black Hole Fun Times, otherwise known as Graviton Flux, onto his team, and he's able to keep it going. These deaths do not mean the end. Here we have McGravy diving into the back line of Dynasty, not managing to pick anything up. These risks that you can take that do not pan out, and he's making them. Marve's really low, but we're going to see the burst healing coming out of Toby's Batiste. Bringing him back up. Now we're going to see the Seoul Dynasty doing something, I would say, a little bit cheeky. They're pulling around this backside. They're not going for the point. They're going to go straight for the Valiant's back line and pick up 2 kills. Both of the damage characters for the Valiant are dead. This is Now, when I said one's gone, you can't fight. Two's gone is an extremely hard fight. Valiant's going to want to have to be clever and be dexterous and skilled, have some real teamwork with these remaining 4 players to take out. Other characters are spawning back now. But it's not enough. Dynasty picks up 3 more, and they get it to that little yellow rectangle on the ground. That means they pushed it more than the Valiant did. This third game is going to be on a hybrid map, which means it has a control point that you have to capture. There's 3 ticks of that control point here. And once you capture that control point, you get this cart. And you want to take that cart all the way inside that castle. And that's the game. We saw a great performance there from Seoul Dynasty. And I think it's pertinent to why Overwatch is a fun game to watch. I might not be great at displaying it. If I'm not, my bad. I'm very new to this casting thing, but I'm not very new to Overwatch. I love this game. And I think it's a hard game to watch sometimes because there's a lot of movements, a lot of things going on, there's a lot of characters to learn, but I think it's always worth learning. For instance, you see these weird picks like KSF going on the Junkrat just to put out some projectile luck-based damage onto the enemy team. You see Fitz on McCree. Now, this McCree-May combo is something that's very common right now. McCree can do a lot of damage. We have what's called patches and patches and balancing are a thing in games. If you're not seen games, I'm hoping you have. If you're League of Legends, you are aware. If you've seen League of Legends or TFT or any other game, really, you'll be well aware that the balance of games is not always still and not always the same. So McCree and May are particularly strong right now. KSP picks up Prophet, and there's a statistic right now that if your May dies, 70% of the time you lose the team fight. And Dynasty's down to May, and we're going to see Fitz here be knocked off the map by Rain. And that's what I like to see. This could be a comeback for the LA Valiant. Pushing on the point, getting a lot done here. Now what they're going to see is the cart's all the way back there. Shouldn't they be escorting? Well, no. That's not always the case. And the Valiant are going to try to take their advantage from that last fight. They just killed a bunch of people. They're going to try to get some extra room. Let the cart. Only one person needs to be standing on the cart to move it. So they're going to try to control this space in front of it. It doesn't really pay off, though. A lot of the Valiants dropping like flies. But what they are able to do is stop letting the Dynasty set up here and get a few more feet than they would otherwise. That's going to be out for the Valiant here. Pretty clean sweep up for Dynasty. There's a lot of misplays. KSP flashbangs and May ice block. You want to wait until May's out of the ice block to flashbanger traditionally. Now we're going to see Dynasty take back the point. The change here from Valiant. KSF switches to Doomfist. Doomfist, again, very good at melee fighting. Puts a lot of burst damage, can take out characters. And we're going to see at the top right here, Dynasty has 4 ultimates. So those check marks mean so they can pretty much, if a fight gets out of hand, they can win it. We're going to see Marve here throwing out his Black Hole Fun Times and picking up putting enough damage on Dreamer and KSF for them to be taken out. It takes out McGravy, and that's a fight. They still have 3 ultimates. Your ultimate economy is how many resources your team has and how much you want to use per fight. If you can win a fight without using ultimates, if you've got them, it means that you can use them later. It means that you can save ultimates for when you absolutely need them. We're going to see the ult come out of McGravy. It's extremely weird that didn't get absorbed. Marve here had the ability to use that ultimate. You can see those, what we call bongos, coming out of gesture here. It increases the damage that anyone in range of those bongos do. Bongos are taken out, though, and gesture is just here on the point, relatively alone. KSP has his ult. It's called Deadeye. What he does is he can ready his gun and as long as he aims for a few seconds, it charges up of anyone on site, and then he clicks it. Anyone who has a skull over their head will die. The cart's moving along here on the ground as the Valiant has taken this high ground. High ground is very good in Overwatch. It limits the amount of times people can shoot, because if someone's getting good shots on you, you can just back up. It means you can get pulls like this. We're seeing a Holt into a high noon. You see that skull? Boom! He takes out Marve. One shot, one kill. That was one of the ults that can one-shot tanks. The Jester trying to keep this point stopped. But as we said, defense, at least on the first 2 points usually of most maps, have the disadvantage. But as this cart pushes forward, the fights will take place more and more near the Dynasty spawn and less near the Valiant spawn, especially on this point. Valiant's looking to hold this angle on this corner, try to keep the enemy in their range while they're not. Fitz ults there as Sigma pulls everyone up in the air. No one can hide behind his shield. But as we saw, KSPO was able to maneuver himself in the air and get out of the way, but not enough for his team. These are the kind of interesting interactions you see, these team plays. Marve using a Sigma ult in a way you'd never see in an online game, picking up people so that Fitz can get them all on his sights. He only picked one kill with it, but one kill with a Deadeye is better than no kills with the Deadeye. So as a McCree, if you can get one kill, you take it. It's an incredibly hard ult to use, of course, because most people can just get out of the way. You very rarely get more than one kill with it. Ultimate's out from... We're going to see the nanoed KSF here. He's able to do more damage, be more effective. Can't really find anyone, though, with it. That's a shame. It's a real shame that an ult was used that didn't get it much. And we're going to see this Blizzard come out from Prophet here. That slows the momentum of the Valiant. They can't move, they get frozen, and they die. Blizzard is an incredibly powerful ult because it can entirely stop momentum. Let's see. Over here we got Jester also has ult. We see Fitz up here on the high ground, trying to be sneaky, trying to get a flank in on the Valiant. He can hear them. KSP low, being healed. He knows that the Valiant... Fitz knows the Valiant here. We're going to see the bongos coming out. We're going to see a Deadeyes onto the... Oh, he doesn't even need the Deadeyes. Flashbang into a kill from Fitz. They realize it's too late that Fitz is in their back line, but they're also killed from the front line. It's a team kill. Every member of the Dynasty Valiant is dead at the same time. Very good for both teams. One, it means that there's no wrap-up, nothing left on the point. But it also means the Valiant's all spawning at once. They don't have to wait for someone to respawn for a reset, which is why the Dynasty kind of backing up here. Fitz still has the tools that allow him to do it, but he's not going to be allowed to flank a second time. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me twice, you're playing quick play. KSF picked up by Toby. Down your Mei, as we said. 70% of fights, whatever team loses their Mei first loses. And so the Valiant's going to have to back off and wait for KSF to make it back to the point. They can't take this fight. All the while they're losing time. They've only got 26 points until overtime is available again. If they don't touch the point by the time that 20 second ticks down, they're not going to get killed. We're going to see another combo. Fitz picks up 2 from that Graviton Flux. Fantastic team play coming out here. This is what we love to see in Overwatch. Fitz coming in here and popping off, of course. That's modern colloquialism. I'm not going to explain. Putting the pressure on. Valiant's not even there to get to the point for to start overtime. We're going to see those quick picks like McGravy getting on the ball to try to get to point faster because Ball is an extremely fast character. But it doesn't work. And it's only be 2 points for the LA Valiant. That's what I love to see about Overwatch. I love to see those combos. The Sigma ults into McCree ults are incredibly fun to watch. Incredibly fun because it's teamwork that you wouldn't see online, and it gives you ideas for what to do online. It's like, I want to play Sigma ults, get as many people as possible. I'll Deadeye. see if I can get a kill. A lot of people, when Sigma ults, are going to aim at Sigma as well, which is an advantage you have. Sigma, if you kill him before his ult smacks you down on the ground, he won't smack you on the ground. He won't do that big damage. You'll just have been in the air for a few seconds. Here we're gonna see a switch a technique we look called Widow and Smitch. What Fitz was doing there is he's trying to get a big headshot. If he could headshot somebody off the map, the point's won. That 5-6 would put Dynasty at such an advantage that we consider this fight won for the Dynasty. KSP is going to pick up Prophet. Prophet's down. We know what you say about losing your Mei. Let's see if the Dynasty can come back from this. Does not look. They lose 2 others, and they're having to retreat. Now, what we say about losing a Mei doesn't apply necessarily if you do not have a Mei. Not having a Mei means that you have the extra damage, so you don't have to rely on it. Mei is basically a third tank, though. Meaning you only really have 1 DPS, and Mei can do a good amount of damage even with that. See, KSF here, you're looking for a pick-off. Doing his Doomfist thing, has to escape because he knows too late that his team's kind of losing. Prophet and Bedosin pick up Mogravian Dreamer, while Kester only picks up 1. That's a 2-1 loss right now. Go into KF's eyes, see if we can see what he sees. He's picked up by Fitz and Prophet. Valiant's in the last leg. What looked like a win for them is going to get taken out, and the Seoul Dynasty are going to come back from an initial 2-person loss at the beginning of that fight. Now we see that 1 marker on the board. That's the marker on the right side of the board. It's as far as the Dynasty has to get it. It's as far as the Valiant got it last round, and if they can get it there or further, they win. They don't have to keep it there. As soon as it gets there, it wins. Saw on the last map. We're gonna see a nanoed KSF here. KSF is taken out by being frozen. Nano doesn't save you from CC. KSP here up on the high ground. He's got a lot of teammates dead. He's gonna leave. We're gonna see the advantage for the Seoul Dynasty here. Seoul Dynasty, an incredibly good team. Valiant's a pretty good team. Apparently not enough. It's been a dominant match so far. We see this team trying to get up this high ground, but Seoul Dynasty interrupts them, sees them coming, or doesn't even see them coming, just reacts to them trying to get up on this high ground, controls the space better than they do, and wins the game, or wins the fight on that. They're going to take this second point pretty readily. The Valiant might be able to just have another fight on this point, but it looks like they're too far. They're going to come into this next ball, and that Mei wall is going to stop most of the teammates of the Valiant from getting to the point. Because of that, Dreamer and Mogravian are going to be killed. The rest of the team couldn't be there to fight with them. And the Dynasty are pretty much securing the game. Those deaths wrap-ups mean that they can't get to the point, are not going to be able to get to the point fast enough to stop it from getting any meaningful push here. Valiant have this corner they can fight, or Dynasty have this corner they can fight around. High Noon preemptively blocked by a Mei wall, and Seoul Dynasty wins. That's going to be a 3-0 for Seoul Dynasty, a pretty concrete win. And that's why I think Overwatch is fun to watch, because even a concrete win has these moments where it's like, oh, the Valiant are taking it. The Valiant lost 3-0, but by any means did not get stopped. They kept putting up good fights. They kept putting the Dynasty in moments that seemed they should lose. But the Dynasty had this teamwork. There was Sigma into McCree ultimates that always popped up at just the right time. Well, that's been it for me, folks. That's why I think we should watch Overwatch. Well, that's been it for me, folks. That's why I think more people should watch Overwatch. Well, that's been it for me, folks. Once again, this has been Nick Vinson for Overwatch Recast. If you would like your games to be recast with the same bravado and professionalism as a real professional game, please send in the codes for Nick's Recast. Send me in your replay codes, and I will pretend that y'all are professional teams. I will give you names and refer to the players like they're professionals I've known for years. If you have a team name in mind for your team, leave that in the comment as well. Please like if you liked the video, dislike if you didn't like the video. Of course, I'd rather have a lot of dislikes than nothing at all. And if you have any comments and constructive criticism to help me with my casting skills, please leave those as well. If you'd like to see more videos like this, please subscribe. I put out videos like this almost every day. I also occasionally put out video games reviews, as well as video essays about pop culture, whether it be comics, video games, or anything on my mind. That has been Nick Vinson. See you later.